Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Merry Christmas, lads and ladies. It is soon to be upon us, and also, having lurked in the darkness for some time, the winter event has come to destroy our relationships and annihilate our free time, and I am here to minimize the damage. So, first off, I had a busy night last night, but I still managed to grind out the air event and make almost no progress on the ground event. Not even sure if I'm going to do it this year. Do I really need another T-Series? Vote for PewDiePie! American Heavy Tank. Probably not. So, let's take a look at first strategies for the air event. So if we go to all achievements and then festive quest, click the plus, Christmas toys for pilots, and you'll see the tasks. Obviously I've already completed this one, and you can pin it to your favorites to have it show up permanently on the side here. A new feature with this that I absolutely love is you can click on this now and see each individual achievement and the progress you've made. So let's start with air, and then we'll move on to ground. And there's a simple strategy for air that works fairly well. You can see that we got our destroyed vehicles, we got 10 victories, and we destroyed player-controlled vehicles in one battle. For RB, you only need 4, and notice how it says player-controlled vehicles. So that counts tanks, AA, open-top SPGs. Are you starting to see the strategy here? And the American 4.0, 4.3 lineup works very well for that. You have the P-47, you have an M22 for capping a point quickly and being able to get into an air vehicle, which is the point in ground RB when you're running this event. You have the PBGA-1H, or if you go up to 4.7, you have the Grizzly, which is an improved version of the same idea. You have the BTD Premium, you have the BF-109F4 Premium, and I happen to have shelled out for the Calliope. If you watch this video today, you still have time to pick up those premium vehicles for half off, and if nothing else, I would highly recommend the BF-109F4. It recently got an up tier to 4.0 from 3.7, and that doesn't matter at all. It's very capable of performing in that environment, and on top of all of that, being one of the best fighters at its tier, it also has one of the best custom camos with my Undertale camo that I still very much love. Okay, so getting into strategies. Cap a point with a fast vehicle, then get into whatever you can afford. I do not recommend capping a point and then immediately... Yeah, what do you want? What do you need? Use your words. You want a baba? No? You want some paper? Okay. Hold on just a second. This is live, so... Oh! There you go. Have a Cheeto. Sorry about that. I am a full-time stay-at-home dad, so that's just going to be something you hear in the background. My apologies. So, strategies: capture a point, play aggressively, die gloriously. I do not condone capturing a point and then jumping out of the vehicle, and one, that's kind of a scumbag thing to do. And two, even more importantly, you'll get more spawn points by engaging with the enemy, so that you'll be more likely to be able to spawn in the vehicle you want for the occasion. If you're in a 4.3 or a 5.0 match, it won't be too expensive to come out in something like the BF-109, but maybe you want to bring some ordnance on the P-47, and that's going to cost you. So, this is a strategy you need to be adaptive with, and if you don't have experience with CAS, maybe it's better to grind out the air event in Air RB, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Vehicles that are good for doing that with. But for now, the easiest and most enjoyable way for me, because I love CAS, is to do the ground attack / air interception method in Tank RB. So capture a point, get some points in some cheap vehicle that's really fast, and depending upon your tree, that can be more challenging. Japan doesn't have as many options, but the M24 is decent up to about a 5.0 battle rating, where you sort of run into a black hole where the M24 is not really fast enough to capture a point effectively, and there's nothing really to replace it until 6.0 with the Walker Bulldog, which is a good replacement. Even so, playing aircraft, like you can see I have a lot of golden Japanese aircraft here, but the Zero is still effective as an air interceptor at 6.0, so you have that going for you. Just make sure you're using a rank 3 vehicle so you can be sure to get those rewards. A7M2 is a great one. The Space Potatoes, the J2Ms, are very effective at playing that air interceptor role, and they can also carry a few bombs. If you're really good at CAS, you can pull it off. But it's very helpful to bring the B7A2 specifically for Japan for that 800 kilo bomb. You do have to aim that one reasonably, but you should be able to take out most things from the front. If you have the premium vehicles, again, it's going to be a good time to buy them. The Focke-Wulf is very good for attacking ground targets with its, 420 mils? Yeah, those can shred open-top vehicles, lightly armored, AA, a lot of the things that you'll face. And this is a pretty solid lineup for the Japanese version of that same strategy. Get to a point, capture, play aggressively, die gloriously, respawn in an aircraft, maybe drop some bombs, or if there's enemy aircraft in the air, or if you suspect there's going to be enemy aircraft, then get into one of these interceptors, the Space Potato, the Zero, the A7 of either the premium or the regular tech tree variant. All of those are quite effective. Shoot down some enemy planes. With the Japanese specifically, you're going to want to focus on not being targeted by enemy AA, so fly close to the ground, realize where the AA is likely to be, and just don't let them get line of sight to you. Even if you're flying close to the ground, you can zoom climb up beneath someone, and even if you don't catch them, you'll have some time to have guns on target, and you'll wind up behind them, so it's nothing to worry about. If they want to go after you, they have to turn fight, and in the Japanese, that's no problem. Now, for something like the P-47, bring your ordnance, fly aggressively toward where the enemy vehicles are, drop your bombs, fire your rockets, and then zoom away again at low altitude, and then nose up to about 10 degrees and start climbing, and then work your way back into the battle. Or you can play very aggressively, go after enemy fighters, but it's going to be difficult for you to turn with them, going for that chance to get your guns on target, because in the P-47 you can spray and pray, and as long as you get 1 or 2 ground kills, you'll probably have enough spawn points to come back in something like the PBJ or a B-25. Again, if you're using the B-25, make sure it's a rank 3. That would be the J-20. If you use a rank 2 vehicle, you're not going to make progress, so keep that in mind. Even excellent aircraft like the XP-55 are not going to give you progress on this event because it's a rank 2 vehicle. So that is the ground strategy. One last note with that is you need to spawn in an aircraft at some point to make progress for the air event, so that makes sense. It needs to be a rank 3 aircraft, and you can destroy ground vehicles or air vehicles to get your kills and to get your destroy player controlled vehicles streak, which is only 4, so 2 ground vehicles and 2 aircraft in one battle. Even if you have to respawn multiple times, any kills you get with an aircraft count toward that streak. So it's by far easier to accomplish this in Tank RB than it is in Air RB. However, if you want to go pure air for this one, there are some strategies. One last note that I forgot to mention with this lineup is you can see I have a bomber, I have a fighter, a pure fighter, I have a fighter that's a CAS fighter that I can pick from, and I have an attacker. Each one of these is going to cost a different amount of spawn points, and I won't have to double up If I spawn in the BF-109 and then I want to spawn in the P-47, it's going to double its spawn cost up to about 1100, 1200 SP, which is rather expensive. And then these two, the attacker and the bomber, because they're a different vehicle type, will cost significantly less. So I'll be able to get much more aircraft in the air if I have a variety of aircraft. You saw the same thing in my Japanese lineup. We have some fighters, yes, but we also have a bomber. Unfortunately, the Japanese don't have a very effective attacker at this tier, as far as I know, but I've heard some good things about the rockets that they have. Moving on, for Italy, I don't really have the ground forces going yet, so I can't really speak much about that, but what we do have is the best premium aircraft in the game, and the best the best propeller aircraft at its battle rating by far, the G55S. And this aircraft has been adjusted several times. It still flies like a dream. You can find lots of footage of me flying it on my channel. You can very much have a chance at getting your victories, your kills, and your kills per battle streak in the G55S. Notice I have not mentioned getting assists or bombing bases, which is the other way to get achievements, the other ways to make progress toward this medal. That's because they are a lot slower to progress. However, if you want to focus on getting assists, the best place to do it is in Tank Arcade or Air Arcade. And that is because you just have multiple respawns, you have lots of targets, and even in Tank Arcade, if you're in an aircraft, you can make progress toward the air event. So keep that in mind, because you can also make progress toward the tank event there. So it's not unheard of to grind in arcade, and I just prefer not to. So that's just a personal preference. Also, the SM91 is a hidden gem that came with the latest update, and it has 6 20 mils and something like 1,800 rounds of ammunition. If we go into X-ray, yeah, each of these 20 mils has 300 rounds of ammunition. That is unheard of. And with just a quick tap, you can take out ground, AA, and artillery. You can destroy pillboxes. You can shred enemy fighters that show up in front of you. You can actually tear off half of this wing and still fly. And you have a 20 mil defensive gun. And this vehicle is classified as an attacker. And it's a rank 4 battle rating 3.7. That's all I had to say about that. This plane is a living meme. I have no idea how it ended up being a rank 4. The climb rate at a stock 9.5 meters per second, you could probably get up to around 11 or 12, I suppose. I haven't checked specifically to see what the modules give you, but this is a solid vehicle for ground attack. Because it's a rank 4, you can make progress in the event. If you do have the Italian vehicles, this could be, I would highly recommend you throw this into your lineup for whatever lineup you have, even up to a 5.0, 6.0, because again, 620 mils, an attacker designation, so you get a reduced spawn cost, and just an incredible amount of ground pounding power. Those 20 mils, if we look at the default belts, can punch through 19, well, figure around 13 millimeters of armor when you're doing a diving attack. But let's see if we can put on armored targets. Yeah, you're still looking at around 13 millimeters of armor, but it's APHE, so when it goes through roof armor, when it goes through engine deck armor, it should do a significant amount of damage. And because they're actually mounted in a cluster in the nose and then with 2 really close to the fuselage in the wing roots, you'll have a cone of devastation. The SM91 is going to be an incredible ground attacker under the right circumstances. You are not likely to be able to outfly an enemy, but that's what your 20 mil is for. It can aim down significantly better than I expected it to. Its firing angles are not terrible, but again, once you start using a tail gunner, your days are kind of numbered. So that's just a little bit of talk about the Italians. The Brits, really, if you haven't bought the Wyvern, you should buy the Wyvern. It's incredible. And then for the other nations, again, my recommendation is just that you have multiple types of aircraft. You see we have a bomber and a jet fighter here. We could even throw in an attacker like the Duck, which is kind of ridiculous, but it is an attacker. I'd like to see some other aircraft classified as attackers just to give the Germans more attacker classification aircraft. They kind of fall short in that area once you get into the higher ranks, but a lot of nations do that, so that's okay. And that's it for the air event. If you want to grind it out in the air, really you just want to pick your favorite aircraft and fly that. The P-47 for the Germans, or the Bf-109s. The F-4 is a fantastic, as I mentioned, a fighter that's very capable. Going for kills is faster than going for base bombing or victories, and if you want victories, the Germans are doing very, very well. The Italians are doing very, very well at the 4 to 5.0 battle rating. So if you took out something like the G55 Series 1, you should be able to do quite well. I know the repair cost on this is insane, but pay to progress. You should be able to turn a profit if you play defensively, if you climb and stay near your team. Lately, Italian teams at the 4 to 5 battle rating have just been a meat grinder, eating up enemy planes. So that is very doable. On to ground forces. When you're going for your ground achievement or your ground medal, you can see I've made almost no progress here, but again, you want to go for kills. Victories are going to come naturally as a part of going for kills, and then going for a kill streak is going to be easier in RB with only 4, but 11 kills in one battle in arcade is not unheard of. And so if you want to grind this in arcade, if you just focus on trying to win the match and trying to get kills, you should be totally fine. So these should come naturally. And then as far as getting assists, interesting that they don't have a 5th option here. But as for getting assists, 25 assists is very doable. It's actually... Let me educate you on some recent changes to critical damage. Previously, getting a critical hit on an enemy meant that you had to kill at least 2 crew members, or for an aircraft, cripple a module. Whether it's a wing surface area, tail controls, engine, pilot damage, what have you. We're not going to talk about pilot damage right now. Okay, I need to wrap this up. Getting assists in ground vehicles is far easier now. You only need to kill 1 enemy crew member or set them afire. So, if you set an enemy vehicle on fire, or if you kill one of their crew members, and you have the option to switch targets and target someone else, or to relocate so that you can target a different vehicle, go ahead and do that if you already have if you're already getting enough kills. And maybe if you already have your kill streak. You know what I'm saying? If you cripple an enemy, just go ahead and target somebody else. Also, in arcade, it's very, very easy to harvest assists by spawning in a fighter and then hitting enemy vehicles with your cannons and machine guns just to get some hits on them when they're engaged with your allies. So go to the area where you see your allies and engage with someone else, and just ping the people that are around there, and if they get taken out within 30 seconds, you'll get an assist. It's a great way to harvest assists. You can get 12 assists in one arcade battle in short order if you're continually spawning in air vehicles. And again, if you critically hit someone, say you're attacking an open top vehicle, and you set them on fire, or you take down a crew member, pull off and target someone else. Whenever they die, you'll get an assist. So that's how to get your assists. I don't really need to tell you guys how to get your kills in arcade or RB, and that is where I recommend that you grind those things out. 6 kills in an RB match, and that's not in one life, that's over the course of multiple spawns. So again, give yourself a lineup where, if we look at something like my 6-3 American lineup, this is a very strong lineup for ground vehicles and also for aircraft. But focusing here on the Super Hellcat, the M19 can get kills. The M26, a solid medium tank, whether it's the premium variant or the regular tech tree variant. The T28, I know it's a premium, but if you jump up to American 6-7, there's some great regular tech tree vehicles that can pull off the same kinds of things. But basically, just give yourself a lineup with a tank destroyer, with a heavy tank, with a medium tank, with an AA, so you can constantly be spawning in different vehicles and efficiently work that SP point system, and you will get kills. And you only need 6 in one battle. It's going to happen at some point. As far as victories, those will come naturally. As far as kills overall, that'll come naturally as well. If you guys are having any trouble, or you're looking for specific tips about what vehicles could work for you, feel free to hit me up on my Discord if I'm available. I'm gonna be busy. Again, I'm a dad, I'm a husband. I've got things to do when it comes to family stuff right now, but I'm not going to leave you guys high and dry. You send me a message on the Discord, I'll get back to you eventually. And there's definitely other helpful people, and I can't end this video without highly recommending the TEC Hub Discord. Just watch one of the European Canadians videos on YouTube to find a link to his Discord. It is by far the best place to find support for this event. He also has the best videos on how to do this event, so why am I even making this? Because I love you guys, that's why. And what else? So if you get into the voice channels, you can see that there's people in every one of these rooms, and all of these people, hey Visky, all of these people are helping each other grind through the event. They're here to be helpful, and these guys are great, each and every one of them, and they're also salty. So so if you get upset about something, they will share that experience with you, and then they'll pull you up out of the mud and carry you to the end of the battle. Guys, good luck, but you won't even need it because you're gonna stay determined. To bring it right back to my BF 109, stay determined. So let's go ahead and end it. 4.3. We'll end it with that. Guys, Merry Christmas. Frickin' love you guys. And I will catch you guys in the next video. By the way, this was live, so I should check the comments. Mab, yo, I'm a new sub. Good to see you, bud. Sorry that I didn't get to your comment right away. I just wanted to get this done as quickly as I could, and that's why I made it a live broadcast, because I don't have time for editing today. I'm just about to head out the door and drive across the state to go pick up my mom-in-law, who's a super sweetie, and she's gonna spend Christmas with us this year. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.